had been driving for hours along the quiet backroads of northern Ontario, chasing the kind of isolation you can't find in cities. I finally found a small overlooked lake tucked behind a grove of pines. Its surface was perfectly still, mirror-like, reflecting the sky and trees so precisely it almost looked unreal. I set up my tent near the shore, eager for a night under the stars. The first few hours were tranquil. I fished, ate a simple dinner, and watched the sun melt behind the distant hills. But as night deepened, I noticed something odd. My reflection in the water didn't quite match my movements. If I raised my hand, the reflection lingered a fraction too long before following. If I tilted my head, the reflection tilted slightly slower, as if it were thinking. I shook it off as fatigue or imagination. But then the water rippled, and my reflection didn't. It stayed still, staring back at me with eyes that seemed darker. A chill ran down my spine, and I realized that it wasn't me in that reflection. It was something else, mimicking me, waiting. I tried to leave the lake, packing up my things, but every path I took seemed to loop back. The forest around me shifted subtly, rearranging itself, as if I were trapped inside a maze that only existed at night. When I looked back at the water, the reflection grinned, a smile that was wider than mine, sharper than mine, and entirely unnatural. A few minutes passed. Time felt meaningless. Finally, I found myself seated on a rock at the lake's edge, staring into that black, glossy surface. My reflection raised its hand slowly, deliberately, and I realized I had not moved mine. My own body had frozen without my knowledge. Then the surface broke. My reflection stepped out, leaving ripples behind, and looked me in the eye. "Stay a while," it whispered without sound. A thought pressed directly into my mind. My heart froze, and the next moment, I felt weightless, like I had fallen through the water. When I woke, it was dawn. My tent was gone. The lake was empty, still, perfectly still, and my reflection was missing. But I'm not alone. Sometimes when I catch my own reflection in a window or a pond, I swear it smiles before I do, and I know, deep down, that somewhere, the lake is waiting for me to return.